G'day everyone, Shane again. So now 3 weeks out from my goal run, 2 Bays Ultra, 56k down Mornington. This week's been a really good week. There's been quite a few days where it was high 20s, mid 30s. We did get one where it actually hit 41 degrees. So it's been great for just sort of getting out and just getting used to just how much energy being in the heat actually saps out of me. Did knock out a couple of runs where it was 37 and I think the other one was 36 degrees. Both runs only went for about 6k each, but it sort of reinforces that in that sort of heat I do need to back off. I found it really did sap the energy out of me when I was out running. And it's sort of, I'm used to running 10-15 k's without even needing a drink, and here I was running 6k and a few k in, you're already thinking maybe I need a drink, and it'd be good to take some fluids in. So it's just been good just to sort of get that into the mentality when I'm running, to sort of back off, and that I will need to drink more often, and that I need to manage the effort that I'm putting in for the speed I'm actually getting back. Normally I'd run at sort of 5 minutes 30 per kilometre, and that feels fairly easy to me, whereas running at 5:30 k, per k, and it being mid 30s actually felt like I was working really hard. Similar to effort where if I was running sort of 5 to 5:10 minute k's. So that was sort of really good to get used to that and just get a bit of impression. And I don't think there's going to be enough heat between now and mid-January to get used to running in that heat. So it's something I know is going to be quite taxing on me, and just sort of helps me think too that come the midway point, hopefully I've knocked that over before the heat of the day kicks in, and I can afford to back right off for the second half of the run. Because the last 28 k's, if I should be starting that somewhere around about 11 o'clock, I think 10:30, something like that. I think it's a 7 o'clock start, so probably about 10:30ish I should be starting the second half. So hopefully I can knock a lot of the distance out before it gets too hot. So I ran a lot of short runs in the heat, most of them sort of 6 to 10k, but for the weekend I did get out and do a 25k trail run. Another good section again of the Goldfields track, so getting used to undulating hills and working through the single track and four-wheel drive track where I've got to keep watching my footing. That was really good. Also had a extra reinforcement to why I carry a snake bandage with two very close calls. If you're not familiar with Australia and snakes, they tend to be everywhere. So coming across them out in the trails is not uncommon, but when you're out in the middle of nowhere and if one of them does happen to decide to tap you on the ankle, then you could be in a bit of strife. So always carrying a snake bandage, and you're always watching the path, just looking for things that look like sticks but not quite sticks. So that was a bit hairy, but you get through and it's just what you do. You get a little bit used to it, which is a bit strange, but you do. So after Saturday's run, that was only sort of mid-20s when I did that run, and I felt quite good. Again, I didn't push myself like normal, just sort of taking it easy and just getting the time on the legs and doing the Ks. I decided to back that up again on the Sunday with a 15k run just around town, so not worrying about trails, but just getting out and doing the distance. And I think I ran about 5:30s for that as well for the 15k. Again, it was probably mid-20s, so that was really good just to get out and be able to back it up and do that 15k and still feel quite fine, even though having done the 25k the day before. That's pretty good as well. So able to back that up, and I think all up I've probably gone close to 70 k's for the week. Might have just gone a little bit over. Keeping in mind though, 40 k's of that was in the space of 2 days, so that was quite good. And I think the 25k I did that in about close to 3 hours as well, so that was quite good to do that, and just for how well I've recovered after that as well. So this week is going to be probably my last week of proper Ks leading into the training. It's sort of a bit weird too. It's now coming on the Christmas break, and so a lot of people are in the festive mood and want to have meals and all that sort of thing, get together and eat way too much food. And I'm working out days I can run and turning things down so I can knock out Ks instead. And thinking about Christmas morning once everything's done, to run from one place to the next place just so I get my run in for the day while I try and eat my body weight in food. So I sort of want to be able to do that and still manage my runs. It's too close to the target to be able to take a week off, so to speak. So doing those Ks is still quite important to make sure I do carry all that through. In the week and a half or so beforehand, then I'll be backing off, but we're not into that yet. So at the moment my focus is still on doing the Ks and making sure I'm doing the training. And then I can lighten off come end of the first week of January or something like that. So skipping a lot of the festive things and still keeping an eye on everything that I eat and make sure everything's okay that way as well. So that will do for this week. Has been a good week for me. Knocked out a good amount of Ks and everything feels really good when I'm out moving. No aches or pains to worry about, which is great. Getting so close to the target run, it's giving me a bit of confidence. Hopefully the training you're doing is progressing nicely and you're working towards your goal as well. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Any questions, drop them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Till next time, thanks for watching and see you all next week. Cheers.